Hi
Hello.
everyone. Hi, so for those of you who don't know us yet, thank you so much for joining us. I am Jamie Wyland,
I'm Dr. Colin Kinsales.
and we are from Integrative Health and Wellness. So I've noticed a lot of times on our videos, I always sit so much closer than you, so I look huge for him. Do you see what he does? See what he does to me? And I feel like it's because when I talk to you guys, I'm like, hey, guys, do you guys want to join in and talk about fatigue with us tonight? So we've got Dr. Colin Kinsales. I'm so excited to talk to you. So this is what happens.
Yep.
Is like Dr. Colin is always chill back here, and I get so excited about talking to you guys that I just want to be up and with you. So it's so cool. You guys, you and Dr. Sarah Vivona join me every week, and I just get to pick their brains about stuff that I feel like I, representing normal people, because you're so abnormal in how healthy you
pretty
are,
abnormal.
I just get to find out all of these interesting facts about you guys because you guys really do live so differently according to like what society's norm is.
I guess you could say that.
Do you think that?
Not really.
You just think your normal is normal
Yeah.
until you
I
hear
just-
about something a way I'm living, and then you're like, wait,
What are
people
you doing?
really do that?
Why are you doing that? Yeah.
How do you do that? Why are you doing that? So I know we always meet with you guys at 5:30, and a lot of you you're just busy, right? You're coming home from work, you're getting dinners ready and stuff. So your guys are watching the replays. We totally appreciate you watching that also. If there's any questions you guys have, even if you're just watching the replays, just send them to us. I'll ask them. I have no shame in asking you guys questions.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I just think you wish I'd shut up and quit asking him questions.
Never.
Never. That's on tape, so I might use that later. So tonight I'm super excited. We get to talk about adrenals.
Yep.
I'm always very open with all of you guys about my struggles and what led me to come here. And it's always exhaustion, fatigue. I mean, it's just my battle, right? And lately you said my adrenals were fatigued.
That is true.
And truthfully, I have no idea what that means.
Okay.
I really don't. I thought my adrenals had to do with my thyroid,
Can, in different ways.
but they're totally separate organs.
Yes, but they communicate with the thyroid along with a bunch of other, what we call endocrine or hormone organs.
Okay, so tell me, let's start from the beginning then. What are your adrenals?
So they're actually glands that sit right on top of your kidneys, and they produce a lot of different chemicals. And they're very important. So you've heard of, you know how when you take steroids, like we're talking about the kinds that decrease inflammation in the body, steroids are actually naturally produced in your adrenal glands. So they produce anti-inflammatory properties, and they produce adrenaline, and they regulate your adrenaline levels, and they help to assist in regulation of the blood sugar levels via the adrenaline release. So the more adrenaline in your body, the more your liver's going to release blood sugar. They do a lot of different things.
So really, and I'm laughing because what I heard you just say is I'm going to be tired and
If you
fat.
have adrenal fatigue, yeah, you'll be tired, you'll be fat.
I mean,
You're not going to be able to sleep well. So if you have like an over-functioning adrenal gland, like sometimes they get too hyped up and revved up, because like one way that might happen, you can think of, so we're really jumping around, but so your adrenal glands are like almost like your fight or flight organ. Whenever you're really stressed, they're active. They release adrenaline, and it's a protective mechanism. So when you're out in nature getting chased by a lion, you want your adrenal glands fully turned on, adrenaline in your body, and all the blood just flowing to your muscles, just so you can get out of there. But today we have different types of situations that would keep us that way. So we have work-related stress that may keep us in fight or flight. We may have toxins in the body or an infection in the body that's low grade that you may not even know is there, that's keeping us in a revved up fight or flight mode because we're under attack from the inside rather than from the outside. So we have a lot of different things that can kind of make our adrenal glands more active. And when they are, a symptom of that is going to be like you're always amped up or like kind of revved up, ready to attack. or you may not be able to fall asleep. And if you have adrenal glands that are actually too fatigued, so they're worn out, another symptom of that would be that you can't stay asleep. So you can fall asleep because you're always really tired, but staying asleep doesn't really work too well for you.
So
You're writing that down?
And I never take notes, right? Because I'm with these guys all the time that I usually don't need to write notes. And I really am, because, I mean, obviously we're not in the woods getting chased by a bear.
Yeah.
But I'm a mom of 3 chasing kids around, trying to, get so much done in one day that I always feel like I'm in fight or flight.
Yeah.
And when
you need to kind of be in that mode just to, accomplish everything that we're expected to accomplish throughout the day.
Right. And then I was thinking, as you're talking, I'm like, I know a lot of women who aren't very high-strung women, right? Like I am. Like, I'm just can't stop. Well, they are not normally just high-strung, but you're saying that the adrenals could be what's keeping them awake, even though they're not like...
It's like whipping a tired horse.
Like the toxins...
Yeah.
It could just be a physical thing.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't have to present, like, your adrenal glands can be completely blown out, and when that happens, you're unable to do those daily functions and tasks at that level. So, like, you're just going to be completely lethargic, you're going to be tired, worn out. Like I said, you'll fall asleep really easily, but then you're going to wake up in the middle of the night. Or
like wake up and ready to go, wake up and...
No, you'll wake up in the middle of the night. Well, yeah, you can be. Or you just may not, you're not going to get a very high quality of sleep.
Okay.
So like some other symptoms of adrenal fatigue would be when you're laying down and then you go to stand up, that lightheadedness or dizziness. That's one. You can have sensitivity to lights, like especially when you're driving at night, because the adrenal glands release a hormone that will actually constrict your pupil, so keep it closed more to let in less light. And if that's not happening when you're driving, they're going to be stuck open, and too much light's going to be getting into the eye, and you're going to have light sensitivity. You can get like exercise-induced asthma is one, because they release hormones that keep the bronchial tubes open. So if your adrenal glands are fatigued, they're going to that hormone that allows the tubes in the lungs to stay open isn't present, so they're going to shut down. And the more, like whenever you run, your adrenal glands are supposed to kick on, and if that hormone's not present to keep the bronchial tubes open, it's going to close, and you're going to get exercise-induced asthma. You can get allergies. That's another symptom of adrenal fatigue. Joints popping and clicking a lot because they produce a hormone that hold the joints together, like the ligaments tighter. Not to say that you're going to be really stiff, but it's a stability thing. So if your joints are popping and clicking a lot, you're probably going to have joint pain because they're over sliding. And that over rubbing or sliding creates inflammation.
So why is it, I didn't even prep you for this question.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Why is it that we always hear of women being fatigued, like having this adrenal fatigue? Like I don't ever hear men complaining that their adrenals are fatigued. Or, I mean, as you're talking, I'm thinking, I know so many moms, even not here, just in general, who are like, complain that they're yelling at their kids, like just snapping at their kids.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this is adrenal, like can be adrenal fatigue.
Could be part of it.
Like I don't hear men like...
Oh, they have it. A lot. They just kind of battle through it a different way.
Okay.
But it's definitely present in men and women to the same degrees. So,
okay. And it would present itself the same way?
Yeah.
I know a lot of men like sleep.
Yeah.
The stress level.
So that's like you. I mean, yeah, you have a heavy workload during the week, and you may have a really physical job, but sleeping Sunday afternoon, that may or may, like in football, that may be.
Like falling asleep at the chair on the chair.
That could be one of them.
Okay.
It's you're gonna have the same symptoms, and
so maybe instead of me just being all about the moms here, I'm just saying, dads, I should give the dads out there, or you women who are watching with us, we need to give the men some leeway on sleeping
Well, yeah, we work just as hard as you guys.
during those TV hours.
You're not the only ones that
Right.
work.
So the men, if there's any men watching, they can just use adrenal fatigue
As your excuse.
as the excuse for falling
and then
asleep
do
on the
it,
chair.
sleep as much as you want then.
All right. So we did jump around a lot here.
Threw you off.
Threw me off a little
Yeah.
bit. So how do the adrenals affect our thyroid? I mean, they're both producing hormones, right?
Yeah, so they'll actually affect all of, if one of your organs that's called an endocrine organ releasing hormones isn't working right, that one organ communicates with a bunch of other ones. So that communication between them is all going to be thrown off. So it's like a choir singing. If you have one person that chooses just to sing out of tune or just talk, you're going to mess up the whole choir,
Okay.
the whole sound of it. So I brought a little something to show you. Now, it seems like whenever we're on Go Lives, everything's reversed and it's hard to see, but here are all of like the endocrine organs. I show this to my patients, and your adrenal glands are up here, and all these lines show the different organs that each one of these endocrine glands communicates with. So you can see how they're all linked together, and if one is thrown off, then all the others are going to be thrown off too. So yes, adrenal fatigue can affect the thyroid directly and a number of other glands and organs.
Okay, so I have to do this, and I apologize to you guys watching, but since I have worked here, since I've been a patient here and worked here, I have to say there is this huge impact from food to how I feel. And I don't want that to be the case. I have fought it, actually, very well.
Yeah, you tried to battle pretty well.
And I have tried every loophole there is.
No loopholes.
There's no loophole. There's no supplement to make it easy. It just is the way it is. But they're really...
Do you know why?
Why?
Because the stuff that we eat today isn't really food, and our bodies don't know how to handle it. So if you eat real food, that's what you've been, depending on your beliefs, created to eat or evolved to eat. I believe that both are one and the same thing, but let's not talk about that. But that we get that's what we're meant to eat.
That's what we were created to eat,
So-
is real food.
Yeah. So if you think that a human being is in any way, shape, or form smarter than what created us or how we evolved, then you may end up paying the price if you eat that way, or if you take things into your system that have been developed by humans that don't work with the body naturally, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, potatoes
Yeah,
are real food.
they are, and you can eat them, but whenever they're fried, it's not really the same
Baked.
thing.
You
Baked, yeah, they are. And it's also going to depend on,
know, see me finding all these
Yeah.
loopholes.
it's going to depend on your body too.
Had to go there.
Yeah, because when you pair different things together, you can create sensitivities. But that's kind of beyond the topic today.
Well, it's kind of cool though, because I am going to bring us back to the fact that, I mean, there are foods that have, like, I mean, they have a real impact on how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I don't want that to be the case, because I want to be able to eat all the garbage without having to pay for it
Yes.
physically, I really do notice that there are certain foods that exhaust me.
Like what?
Like the
I'm going to
potatoes.
switch this. Okay. So potatoes.
Potatoes are like... Oh.
So that's with you. And the reason, if you don't mind me
Yeah,
saying,
no.
so she has a sensitivity to them. So her body actually sees those as an offender or an attacker, the proteins that are broken down. And it's just Jamie at this period of time. So whenever you eat things that you're allergic to, your body sees that as a toxin, and it amplifies the body's defense and attack system. And over time, if you continue to consume that day in and day out, you're keeping yourself revved up in attack mode, and then that leads to adrenal fatigue. So that's how that links together there.
So that's where the exhaustion comes
Yes.
from.
Yep.
So is everybody different then in those foods that would fatigue their adrenals?
Yeah, I mean, if you have different sensitivities, those will do it. If you have a known allergen, that will do it. Sugar, of course, going back to that, will always do it because that amplifies the body's response, and the body sees it as a toxin in the amounts that we consume today. Anything that's toxic, so like an alcohol is what's called a mycotoxin. It's a toxin produced by fungus and yeast, and that does it. Tobacco does it. Drugs do it, whether it be recreational or medical.
Okay.
All those things produce adrenal fatigue.
So let's go the opposite way then. Are there foods that I can eat that would help my adrenals?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are they different? Are they individualized?
No, not so much. So whenever your adrenal glands produce the hormones, vitamin C is needed. So foods high in vitamin C, foods high in vitamin B, all the B vitamins, you want to it's best if you just look up you can just do a Google search, foods that are high in vitamin C, look them up, and the ones that are the highest that you like the most, just start eating a bunch of them. Foods that are high in vitamin B, great for the adrenals and for energy production. Vitamin E also would be one, and zinc would be another one.
So it's B, C, E, and zinc.
Those are the big ones.
All right. So how do you test for adrenal fatigue?
That's a good question. So there are different muscles linked or wired up, like physiologically, to different organs. So you have a adrenal gland, which is wired up to a muscle in your leg called your sartorius, and one called your gracilis, and then your calf muscles are the main ones. So this is pretty neat. So your gracilis and your sartorius are like on the inside of your leg.
Just like your upper side of your leg.
Yeah, so the upper front thigh, they both connect there, and one travels down to the inside of your knee, and then one travels down and cuts across the front of your leg to the outside. And they're both involved with knee stabilization. So if you have like hip pain in the front, anterior hip pain, or knee instability problems, it could be adrenal fatigue, because if the gland isn't working properly, then the muscles wired to it won't either. And also the same thing with your calves or the arch of your foot, and I think we talked about that when we talked about feet. Holding up the arch of the foot is the muscle in the back of the leg called your tibialis posterior, which is wired to the adrenals, and if your adrenal glands are fatigued, that arch collapses, and then you get the plantar fasciitis, foot pain, and just flat feet. So that could be another symptom of adrenal fatigue.
I'm always so amazed at how you guys treat the body as an entire system instead of like parts. So like if I went to a different doctor, which I have done, right, and I had something wrong, they would treat like that part of me.
Yeah.
And you guys take it as this is affecting this, which is causing this symptom. So if we fix the problem instead of just making you comfortable, right, eventually I'll be comfortable because you fixed the problem.
Yeah. And that thing about just kind of taking the microscope and zeroing in on where your problem is and looking at that, if you were to go in and have surgery or put a drug on that area to try to fix it, to eliminate the problem, or in your foot to basically give yourself an orthotic or something to keep your foot in a specific position, over time that problem still hasn't been corrected. The symptom of that is gone, and that problem manifests into something else that's a little more, I guess you could say, that's a little worse, because it's been ongoing for such a long period of time. So instead of just the foot being dropped, you're going to now have severe knee pain, hip pain, maybe low back pain along with that. So yeah, you have to look at the body as a whole because everything is connected.
So if you have an adrenal issue, it doesn't even have to just be fatigue. It's just an adrenal issue.
Mm-hmm. How
long does it normally take for that to be fixed?
So when you come here to fix it, it would be anywhere from about 3 to 6 months.
Months?
Yeah, because we're dealing with a gland, and so we're working to heal up tissue in the gland that takes a little bit longer. But you'll notice changes while we're correcting that faster.
Okay.
you know, in the process of healing, it's going to continuously get better and better and better. And we have certain, you know, supplements that we use to help that. And it's going to, you know, and we can give you certain things just to kind of stimulate the adrenal glands while they're healing so that you don't have that lag time before you start feeling better.
So I'm wild at that, right? Like that's a long time. But one of the interesting things I found out here was that, like, if, you know, we have the holidays coming up, so there's going to be, you know, people who are, you know, trying to eat very well or be on a diet, whatever. There's going to be cheat days because it's that time of year,
yeah, you
right?
have a holiday, you enjoy it.
But how many, like, how long does food stay in our system? So, like, if I'm eating the foods that are like the B, C, E's, you know, like that's, I know, like, it's not, I mean, we think of food as like a daily thing. So I eat food today, I go to the bathroom tomorrow, like, I feel like I'm getting rid of those foods I ate, but they actually stay with us longer, right?
Yeah, and they're stored up. So you, like, for B vitamins, for example, you have reserves. So you eat them and your body reserves them. Now, if you're really depleted on them, your body's, anything that you eat that contains a B vitamin is probably going to be used up automatically just to try to spin the wheels to start going. But over time, you continuously eat that way, you're going to have reserves build up. You're going to have better energy production while you're eating them, and then the reserves are built up. So if you would go a couple days and really blow out your B vitamins somehow, like a lot of really bad stress in some way, shape, or form, you're going to have a backup. So you're not going to crash completely.
I love that because I know, you know, a lot of times people at this time of year, they're just diving into bad foods because we're ramping up, right? Because we have the holidays, so might as well just blow it all. Or
because
New Year, New
love
You.
always means sugar, right?
That's right. Yes. And so, you know, lately, you know, I'm really taking into account that it's okay if I'm doing my best to eat well now. I don't have to wait till New Year. I don't have to blow it all month and gain 10 pounds to lose
and then
another 10 pounds.
You don't need to suffer in the New Year and say, I'm going on this strict diet and I'm doing this, this, and this, and then end up a month later not doing it because you couldn't, you know, keep up with it.
So, I mean, I can start eating for my adrenals now.
Yeah.
And it's, even if I have a mess up dinner or meal or day even, it's
not the end of the world.
Still okay.
Yeah, and the body, like how you said you were wowed by, you know, how long it takes. Like, think of how long it took you to get to that point. I mean, you've been living for a long time. I have too. It takes a long time to, you know, break this body down, and it can take a few months to heal it up. But, you know, you have a long life to live. A few months really isn't that much time in a lifetime. So.
And then, so what about supplements? Let's say someone's they know they're not eating enough to get what they want, what they need. They're, you know, is there supplements that they should be taking? So vitamin C, B, should they be taking vitamins for this?
You want to watch with supplementing with those things because they're mostly produced in the lab. Like, for example, most of the B vitamins can actually be produced or synthesized in a lab from tar, like the stuff we put on roads.
Tar?
Yeah, and a lot of it is because it's cheap. So what you're eating and putting in your body through, like, you know, getting it from GNC or wherever, it's really low quality and it's cheap because they want to sell it to you, and your body doesn't recognize what's produced in the lab. It recognizes a food product and all the vitamins and other vitamins and minerals that are naturally paired with, say, vitamin C. So when you consume vitamin C as what's called ascorbic acid, ascorbic acid is not vitamin C. It's like the eggshell of the vitamin C complex. The whole vitamin C, you're like missing the internal components of the egg, all the good stuff. So if you pour a bunch of ascorbic acid into your body, you actually become depleted in the rest of the C complex and you create, you know, deficiencies. So anytime you want it to be from whole foods. Now, like herbs that can help with adrenal fatigue, one would be like holy basil. That's a great one. Another one would be licorice root. That's really good. But there are a few others. Really, what we're doing is we're using what are called glandulars, or they're like genuine replacement parts for them, while maybe supplementing with an herb just to kind of rev it up a little bit so that you don't have that lag time, like that 3-month lag time or so. But yeah, those are some different things you can do.
Okay. So, if you guys are out there watching, if you are not a patient yet, you guys are more than welcome to give us a call. It's 724. I always do this when we go live. I'm so nervous about getting our number wrong.
Don't mess up.
Right? And my boss is right here. 724-205-6260. I'll be the one answering the phone. Let us know if there's any questions that you have that we can answer for you. I wanted to give a nice shout out to Andrea, Ryan, and Jenna. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And Dr. Sarah is not with us tonight because she's actually out in our foyer. She is teaching a free class that we offer every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30. It explains what these guys do, how they do it, and scientifically why it works. There's actually science behind the voodoo.
Yeah.
And you did not, I love this. The coolest thing, one of the things you guys say is, what school did you go to? And the joke is...
Someone watching knows the joke.
All right, so you'll have to come in to hear what school, jokingly...
You're not going to tell them.
I'm not telling them.
Oh.
I'm not telling them.
Okay.
I'm fishing.
Oh, boy.
That is the catch. You guys got to come in if you want to find out, jokingly, what school they attended. It's really hilarious.
Jenna knows.
Jenna probably does know.
That's where the joke started.
It did.
Yep.
And that's why I know, because Jenna told me. So I love it. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, let us know. You're always welcome to join us here every Wednesday. We're usually always on at 5:30.
Yep.
And the free class, just save your seat. You can go right on our website, ihwcenter.com, and save your seat. It's free, but there's only 12 seats available for every class. Gets pretty filled up.
Get them, because they're going quick.
Got to get them before they're gone. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
See ya.